Today on the Morning Edition, they say the early bird gets the worm, but what about the early babies at the Alaska Zoo? We'll pay them a visit and see what they get. Plus, Town Square Park in Anchorage is looking, well, different these days. If you're curious about how long it might be until its new look is complete, you're in the right place. I'll bring you the latest updates on its progress.
And we do have a first alert weather day for some gusty conditions across the Anchorage Bowl, along with some exceptionally wet weather. I'll have those details coming up.
So, Aaron, this morning we are expecting rain and a lot of wind for the hillside. What can we expect?
Well, we're already dealing with that ongoing wet weather across South Central. In fact, the rain itself will largely stick around for most of the day. But we're first alerting you to those winds, which will become quite gusty as we head throughout the day. And this did go into effect just 2 hours ago at 4 a.m. And it will carry us on into the evening hours until 10 p.m. The strongest winds will be on the hillside and for the Seward Highway south of Potter Marsh. Now, if you live within the Anchorage Bowl, we will see some breezy conditions, but the strongest winds for us within the Anchorage Bowl are set to arrive more so towards the middle of the afternoon hours. And even then, it won't be as strong as what we'll see for the hillside. You can see rain itself really gripping a large portion of South Central. Heading into the Copper River Basin, that's where we're faring much drier. We will see the occasional dry breaks later this afternoon before more rain builds back in across South Central. But today is going to be exceptionally wet across the region. Would not be surprised if by evening we manage to see well over half an inch to about 3/4 of an inch of rain for Anchorage. So we'll be watching for that as we head through the rest of your Tuesday. More rain as you head out towards western and southwest Alaska, as well as up through the Alaska Peninsula. All of that is building into South Central. So, again, we've already seen that rain steady through the overnight hours. We've seen a few hundredths of an inch of rain out towards Kenai, a tenth of an inch in Anchorage, approaching 2/10 of an inch in Homer. And then you can see out towards Talkeetna, we're already sitting at just under 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. Areas out towards Talkeetna and locations nestled up against the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains, we'll see significantly higher amounts of rainfall due to upslope as that moisture builds in from the southwest. So we do have that wind advisory in effect until 10 p.m. Southeast winds of 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts of 45 to 65 miles per hour to be expected. Power outages will be possible as we head throughout the day, more so along the hillside and possibly near areas of South Anchorage. There's those winds. You can see already increasing. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
Something humans and animals have in common is sleep, but there are some animals at the Alaska Zoo who are early risers. Danny Tompkins joins us live from the zoo for a first-hand look. And Danny, it's just about breakfast time.
That's right, Kristen. We've got a couple excited moose over here. They are going crazy for their breakfast. So we're going to show you a morning feeding that's happening here with these orphaned moose. And I'm here with Bree that's going to tell us a little bit more about these two specifically.
Hi. Well, yes, good morning. So we have two baby moose calves here. We have Baby Belle with the red collar. She's a female. And Velveeta, he's here without a collar. They are both about 70 pounds and just shy of 2 months old. They're getting their morning bottle feeding. It's a baby moose formula. They're fed about 3 times a day now, and they're starting to grow in their little baby moose teeth. So they're also given browse, which is plants and leaves, to chew on.
Awesome. They are just the cutest. Can you tell me a little bit about their story, where they came from?
Sure. Well, these little ones, they were each found alone in separate locations, so they are not related. And biologists determined that they needed human care and reached out to us, and we're always happy to help when we can.
Yeah, awesome. I know last summer I had a baby moose in my backyard too, and it can be scary when you don't see that mama close by. What can people do if they see not necessarily just a moose, but any animal that looks like it's in need?
Sure, that's a great question. So if someone sees a young or orphaned animal and they have a concern, you can go to our website, alaskazoo.org, where you can find a page about how to report a wildlife concern and what steps to take next. Most of the time, it's important to give the animal safe space and keep them undisturbed.
Of course. And what's the next plan for these little ones?
Well, they will move on to another wildlife facility or zoo as they get a little bigger and stronger here.
Okay, awesome. Well, I know I've never seen a baby moose get bottle fed, so this has been a great experience for me too. But just some more things coming up too here at the zoo in the morning. Kristen.
Too cute. They're going to grow up to be big and strong. Thanks, Danny. The state's utility regulators are pumping the brakes on a key piece of Alaska's natural gas plan, rejecting NSTAR's request for advanced approval of a cook-and-let gas storage project in Kenai. The RCA's July 8th order denies NSTAR's petition for an advanced determination of prudence for the Kenai Loop pool storage project and closes the docket, saying the utility didn't provide enough basic information to bless the investment upfront. The commission called the request extraordinary and said key questions weren't resolved, including whether state land managers have determined the reservoir is technically capable of storage and competing state lease applications for the same reservoir. Regulators also questioned the timing of NSTAR's claimed needs for new storage and said financing claims weren't supported on the record. NSTAR says the decision could set back its timeline for lining up future supplies.
We cannot commit to the AK LNG pipeline or LNG imports without having a storage solution identified.
They didn't feel comfortable making the decision, telling NSTAR, go forth, spend tens of millions, couple hundred million, and send the bill to your customer.
The RCA emphasized this is not a ruling on whether the project is prudent, only that it didn't have enough information to make that call in advance. NSTAR can ask for reconsideration or appeal within 30 days. Governor Mike Dunleavy set a state record for most vetoes in a single legislature. He vetoed 29 of the 115 bills passed by the 34th Alaska legislature. The previous record, 25, was held by Governor Tony Knowles. He vetoed 8.9% of all bills passed by lawmakers. Dunleavy's vetoes cover more than 25% of bills passed by the 34th legislature. And if you haven't been to downtown Anchorage recently, some of the construction might surprise you. Lauren Maxwell brings us an update on one very visible project.
At Town Square Park, demolition is on the fast track. In fact, Town Square Park is pretty much unrecognizable. The concrete's gone, things are flattened out, and this appears to be one of 2 trees that are left. The owner of the Kobuk right next door has a front row seat.
Pretty chaotic, a little messy, a lot of dust.
She's excited for what's to come, including added safety features.
The sight lines are just so much more visible. You can see from one end of the park to the next, from east, from 6th Avenue to 5th, and I think that is really important for kind of deterring kind of behaviors you don't want to see.
Mayor Suzanne LaFrance says the new space has been designed for public events.
Brand new walkways, open plazas, a dedicated community stage.
And yes, the design shows there will still be trees.
There will be trees and flowers, just as many flowers.
But Town Square won't look like this for a while. New lighting for the park won't arrive until the winter, meaning the park will likely be off limits until next spring.
We don't want to take down the fence while there's no lighting, just because then it will be dark and people will feel unsafe. So we really want the lighting to be in to open up the park.
Town Square revitalization is being done in 2 phases and should be completely finished in the fall of 2027. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
The holiday tree lighting that normally takes place in a Town Square Park won't happen there this year, but the city says the tradition will continue. It'll just be in a different location. It is a question that's troubling investigators in Fairbanks. What caused a fire on June 20th? One victim, Wassily Owens, was pulled out of the boarded-up home on 16th Avenue while the fire was being extinguished. He was taken to a hospital and then to Anchorage. Owens died there the next day. The Fairbanks fire chief says this investigation, being led by the fire marshal's office, could take months or even years to complete.
They started going through step by step, going through the building, sifting through the ashes, looking for burn patterns, looking for information, going around the neighborhood to see if anyone saw or heard anything, reviewing video footage from the area. And it's a very step-by-step, logical investigation process, very similar to what law enforcement does in their investigations.
The fire chief asks anyone who lives in the area or was around when the fire happened to contact the fire marshal's office with that information. Trail users in Fairbanks are being asked to avoid parts of the UAF trail system to help protect both people and wildlife. Over the last couple of weeks, commuters and recreational users on trails across from the large animal research station have reported being attacked by a goshawk. After talking with Fish and Game, campus officials believe the bird has been acting aggressively due to possible nesting. Current closures include sections of the Scarland Trail and other paths that are part of the Equinox Marathon route. UAF knows the closures disrupt training and commuting, but calls them necessary because of serious safety risks.
When the report first came in, we had heard that the bird was not only swooping towards folks, but was actually making physical contact with them. And so there's stories on Facebook people have posted. I believe there was a picture of a talon that someone had taken out of someone's head. And so it's not just displaying protective behavior, it is actively making contact with people. And so it is a big concern.
Trail closures are indefinite for now, but Van Eck says the university is working with wildlife experts to figure out when it's safe to reopen. Still ahead on the morning edition, it's almost time to check in with Danny again. We'll check out what she's up to and see what different kind of baby she's hanging out with right after this.
We do have that first alert weather day for Anchorage as we continue to hold on to some gusty conditions and widespread rain across South Central. I'll have more on that. First at sunrise, 4:50 in Anchorage, 5:41 in Bethel.
Welcome back in. 14 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning and on this first alert weather day, Aaron, what can we expect?
Well, that rain already increasing across South Central. Those winds also picking up across parts of Anchorage. Yesterday, we saw ample dry time, but today is going to be a soaking wet one as we continue to see this wet weather pattern gripping southern Alaska. That wind advisory is for Anchorage at all elevations with some strong winds expected to move through the Alaska range as well, where we could see gusts as high as 75 miles per hour. Now, as of this morning, the strongest winds have been through southern parts of Anchorage as well as out towards the hillside. As you head out towards Glen Alps, winds up to 50 miles per hour as well as Prominence Point, Bear Valley. As you head into the Anchorage Bowl, winds have been anywhere from about 15 to 40 miles per hour, while Eagle River has fared much quieter when it comes to those winds. But we're still expected to see that activity increasing as we head throughout the day. Rain is also building in across Anchorage as we went through the overnight hours across South Central as a whole. You can see just how wet we are this morning. Heavier downpours pushing through parts of Kachemak Bay out towards Homer this morning. And we will see some dry time later this afternoon, but only about an hour to 3 hours before more rain builds back in towards the evening. You can see that upper level winds out of the southwest that's pulling in ample moisture. That's what we're going to continue to hold on to as we head throughout the rest of today, which means if you live in East Anchorage, if you live out towards Talkeetna, the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains, that's where we can expect to see some of those heavier rain showers due to that upslope flow. And you can see the extent of that rain extending out towards southwest Alaska. We've got some rain pushing through the interior as well. That is the parent low that we're watching as it continues to build into the state. So a wet stretch of weather to be expected as we head through the rest of today. In fact, as we head through at least the next week and a half, a good portion of the state will trend on the wetter side. If you want to escape the rain, you want to head to southeast, as that's where we're going to see much drier conditions. So for the rest of today, those rain showers do increase across South Central. You can see that band of some dry time before the secondary band arrives as we head into the evening hours. So again, we will see some dry time later this afternoon. And then those winds across Anchorage will be the strongest on the hillside, but by midday, we will see those winds dipping down into the Anchorage Bowl. And then as we head into our Wednesday, we'll see some morning showers and then we dry out. Wednesday will be pretty much similar to what we did see yesterday. Morning rain, and then we dry out for the rest of the day. Possible sunshine breaks. And then as we head into Thursday, you can see more of that rain building in from the southwest. So we are locked in this pattern and likely will stay with this wet weather pattern as we head through the rest of this week on into the weekend. And we're still on track for seeing 1 to 3+ inches of rainfall. In fact, from today on into tomorrow, you can already begin to see areas of western Alaska or western and South Central already picking up 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rainfall. So that wet stretch of weather staying with us for the foreseeable future. And again, would not be surprised if Anchorage manages to pick up an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain before the end of this week. So Wednesday, faring much drier. We will see some occasional sunshine breaks before Thursday, shaping up to be pretty much similar to today, more widespread rain. And then we kind of see just a shower chances as we head from Friday on into Monday with highs in the 60s.
Time to head back out to the Alaska Zoo to see what Danny is up to and what early risers are out and about at the zoo. Danny, what animals are you seeing now?
That's right, Kristen. We are now at an orphaned little bear exhibit, and I just got a glimpse of these guys, and they are so adorable, and I think they're about to get some food. Tell us what's going on here, Bree.
Yeah, so we have 2 baby black bears, and they're waking up. They're starting to make their way out. The zookeepers have put some treats around, so they're going to slowly come out and come visit with us.
Oh, I know. It looks like they've got some whipped cream and some blueberries sitting around, so it's like a little scavenger hunt in here this morning. Tell me about where they came from.
So they are both boys. They're siblings, and they were found alone. And just like our other baby animals, biologists determined that they needed human care, reached out to us, and here comes the other one, and we were able to help.
Yeah, this is so exciting getting to see them out and about in the morning. I feel like they're not normally this active during the day. How many orphaned animals about do you guys have?
Currently we have 2 baby moose, 2 black bears, and a little caribou.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's so sweet. It seems like they're enjoying their time here at the Alaska Zoo. What do you guys hope to provide for them?
Well, since 1969, the zoo has been giving specialized care to animals, and we hope to just provide the best environment we can for them, help them thrive as well as we can. And we love that when guests come to visit the zoo, they have the opportunity to watch the animals, learn about them, and hopefully we educate the public to be inspired to go out and then help protect the earth and help the wildlife that we all share.
Yeah, and it's so incredible to watch. You don't want to see necessarily a bear in the wild, but seeing these outside of the cage is really incredible. They're so amazing. So definitely some fun early mornings here at the zoo, Kristen.
Yeah. And they're enjoying their whipped cream and blueberries. That's what a great breakfast. What a treat for them. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.